Okay, marry me everybody, it's Raven here. I do apologize if you can hear this fan. It's literally right in front of me. But it is hotter than Hades and I'm not turning this off, which is why I have my shirt off too. It's scorching hot. Scorching hot in the middle of August. Lovely. Wait, no. It's no longer August, I forgot it's September now. Yeah, it's September now. Right? Yeah, it's September, I'm dumb. Okay, anyway, to the point of this video is I'm going to be doing a book, in a sense, recommendation, or books that I've read and enjoyed that I kind of do recommend. Now, these are the books that I own. There are more books that I recommend, but some of them I'm probably not going to remember because I haven't read them in years. Which, the first book I want to recommend. Now, before I begin this video, I will state that I am Wiccan, and a lot of people on this community don't like Wiccans or what they consider to be fluffy bunnies. So if you are one of those individuals and you are offended by everything that Wicca is, leave. Because I will not put up with negative comments. I will not put up with bashing. If you don't agree with my path, or you don't agree with Wicca, then there's the door. Goodbye. Blessed be. Or Mary meets. Mary parts. Whatever. Anyway, onwards. The very first book that I recommend for, this is specifically more towards Wiccans as well as witchcraft. I'll be recommending like both sides of the spectrum, not just pure Wicca, but it's mostly Wiccan. The very first book I read was, the very first one I ever read as far as witchcraft goes was Gothcraft by Raven Digitalis, which I recommend as a read if you're into the goth culture, goth subculture, or just dark-minded in general. I can't even think right now. The first one I recommend is The Goddess in the Details by Deborah Blake. It's a really good book. I think, whatever was it? Everyday Witchcraft, I think it was, by Deborah Blake. I think it was Everyday Witchcraft. It was another good book by her. The first... Now, I will say, so many people are probably going to hate me for this, because I know a lot of people don't like her. And I really don't care if you don't like her, but this is, if I can find all the damn books. I recommend some Silver Ravenwood books, which I already know people are going to be rolling their eyes just by me saying her name. I do like Silver Ravenwolf. There are some things in her books I do not agree with, but some of the information's pretty good, especially for beginning Wiccans. But some people are like, oh, that's disgusting, what's wrong with you? Well, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Okay, so the first book, or this is like the second book I ever read when I began witchcraft, way back when I was like 15, was Teen Witch, which this is like the old ass title. The new one had a different title to it. But Teen Witch, the only thing, some of the stuff in here, like some of the spells are a little, how to put it, a little questionable. But like the basics of most Wiccan stuff I agree with. The only thing, where is it at? I'm trying to find it. Her views upon what a witch is to me is kind of, how to put it, very discerning, because she states that if you're a witch, you're a Wiccan. Only Wiccans can be witches, which that's the only thing I don't agree with her view mindsets, but her rituals and most of her spells, they're good. So I like Teen Witch, To Light a Sacred Flame, To Ride a Broomstick, and to, what the hell was the other one? To Stir a Magic Cauldron. Those are all good books. And what else is it too? And if you're into angel magic, I would recommend Angels by Silver Ravenwolf. I love this book. I do work with archangels and angels and stuff. Now, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with everything she says, but there are some stuff in her books that I do like. Now, the next it's more geared towards just pure witchcraft. Most of it, or neo-paganism, is all of Raven Digitalis' book, which I currently do not have all of them on hand because a few of my books got pissed on by my cats when I lived in my old apartment. So the only two that I own right now, my Gothcraft got ruined. And I never grabbed a copy of The Historic Empathy. I had it on my my Amazon Kindle that I used to have, but I sold that, so I don't have it anymore. So, first one, of course, Gothcraft, and then this one, Shadow Magic Compendium. It goes into about shadow magic, shadow working, even though some people would say it's light and fluffy because it's in a neo-pagan sense, but he goes pretty good into it. I recommend it. And then if you're into astrology and planetary workings like I am a lot, his book, you cannot see shit in this damn lighting. I apologize for that. Planetary Spells and Rituals. It has like rituals and spells based on each planetary frequency. Hold on, let me show you. Like, I've had this book for years now. A lot of the spells and rituals, I crossed out certain things, wrote my own shit in there. If I can find some of the damn spells, I did. Ooh. See, like, you can see it. I wrote a lot of my own stuff in there, crossed things out, which is pretty cool. So if you're like really into astrology and stuff like that, and specific planetary magic, this book is a must. Now, what the hell was I gonna say? I don't remember. Then Scott Cunningham. I love and I'm obsessed with Scott Cunningham's books. I like him 100%. There's like maybe one or two things that he preaches that I don't agree with, but that's healthy and that's normal. You don't have to agree with everything an author says. You should always approach books with skepticism to it. You should always question things. You shouldn't always just read it like, oh yeah, that's true. No, you should question it immediately. Each time. I'm trying to find all my Scott Cunningham books that I currently own. I currently own his Living Wicca, which I recommend this for Wiccans, of course. I did have the, what the fuck was it called? Solitary Wicca, which is the first one to this one. It has approaching like prayers, everyday work, everyday rituals, prayers. It goes into the more spiritual side of Wicca, because most Wiccan books, they don't talk about prayers or how to do prayers properly, prayerful attitudes, stuff like that. They don't explain that in a lot of basic Wiccan books. All they talk about is magic and witchcraft, or not witchcraft, magic and casting spells, which is fine, but it's not the main component of Wicca itself. And since I'm a huge into divination, I did, of course, get this book a while ago, Divination for Beginners by Scott Cunningham and whatnot. I also got, of course, I have both oh my goddess, I can't speak today, I swear. His, I'm sorry, Encyclopedia of Crystals and Gemstones, and his Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. These are, to my opinion, a must for any witch's library, or any Wiccan's library, I should say. Because witches get offended if you say Scott Cunningham or Silver Ravenwolf. Which reminds me, I will be doing a video on that topic soon. The elitism in the community. Which I know I'll be bashed so terribly for that, but I don't really care. Okay, so anyway, onwards. I do have like random books. This one, which I actually found this one many years ago at a Goodwill. It's called The Candle Magic Workbook, Why and How Candle Magic Works. This workbook will ensure success and avoid failures. By Kayla and Kets Pajian. Hoping I'm pronouncing that right. It's a really good workbook for specifically towards candle magic. So it's a really good workbook. I really recommend this book. It's a really good book. Okay, so what else? Now for towards like prayers and more daily kind of stuff, workings, I recommend the Book of Hours. They have the Prayers to the God, which I have this one, the Prayers to the God, and Prayers to the Goddess by Galen Galat. I'm hoping and praying I'm pronouncing that name right, but I'm probably not. And it goes like every day, goes through what prayer is, aiding to prayer, weekly common affirmation prayers, which of course you don't have to follow the prayers in this book to the T, but it's a good inspiration for prayers on a daily basis. And oh my god, my leg is falling asleep right now. Hold on. There we are. Okay, anyway. So that book, Candle Magic workbook. I have divination. I showed that one. I also do have, this one's a very good one. They also have the incense. Oh my goddess. Okay, so here we are, continuing the video. Sorry, my phone dropped. I had to check this to make sure it didn't break. It's fine, thank goddess. Anyway, so their book about incense and making your own scents and stuff like that. There's this Scott Cunningham encyclopedia, I think it is, of oils and incense. I forgot the exact name of it. And there's also Incense, Crafting and Use of Magical Scents by Carl F. Neal, which is a very good book. It goes over the history, the lore of incense, how to make your own incense, the different types of incense, and stuff like that, which this to me is a very good book if you're interested in making your own incense or just knowing more about incense in general, which would not hurt to know that knowledge. Fuck me. Trying to think what else. Now, this is a staple. This book right here is a witchcraft staple. No matter if you're Wiccan, witch, whatever, I think, in my opinion, is A Witch's Bible by Janet and Stuart Farr. The Complete Witch's Handbook, which I think this is more towards Wicca. Witch's Tools, the Sabbaths, Modern Witchcraft. So yeah, I would say more Wiccan. But anyway, it's a really good book. It goes over the basics of witchcraft, whatever, rituals, the Sabbaths. It's a really good book. I recommend it. I think it's annoying as I get coffee on the side of it, but it's a really, really good book. And it's a staple in every Witches and Wiccans library. What the hell am I forgetting? Oh yeah, I forgot about these two books from Scott Cunningham. I'm dumb. Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. It's a good, like, working with more of the elements. The Magical Household for Scott Cunningham, which I love this book. It goes over the history and the lore of magic correspondent to your home, which I love it. House lore and all that. Now, of astrology, this is not really a Wiccan book. Complete Book of Astrology by Caitlin Johnstone. This is a really good astrology book. This one I just found at Goodwill. It was $1, and it was a really good book. It's like a basic starter book for astrology, in my opinion. It's not too full of detail, but if you want to learn about astrology from a basic standpoint, this book. What else? And okay, so this is another book. I have like 2-3 more books I want to share with that I recommend. And this one next is called Nocturnal Witchcraft by Konstantinos. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Konstantinos. I don't know why these authors gotta have weird names, but anyway. This is talking about like working with night magic, dark magic, not negative magic, but working with the night, the moon, nocturnal witchcraft, the dark side a little bit. So this is a really good book. I really recommend this. I love it. I also have, I was talking about this in my live video the last time, was The Witch's Book of Power by Devin Hunter. If you can see it, probably not because my stupid lighting. I hate this fucking lighting in this house, or in this apartment. So it's a really good book. It's speaking about what's called witch power, the powers of witch. Even speaks in the book about planetary presets to different types of magic, which if you look up the book, you'll see what it's talking about based on your astrology chart. And my last book that I always recommend is this old one, The Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells by Judika Isles. I love this book. It has a shit ton of spells and recipes and informations you can use and whatnot. It has like Catholic spells, voodoo spells, Egyptian spells. It has all types of stuff in here. I love it. I've had this book for a freaking year, for a while now. Not many years, but for a while now. I remember because, who the hell had it? Someone else had it before, and I was borrowing it from them a long time ago before I got my own copy, and I've been using that damn thing for years. I've always gotten a lot of spells from it. So those are some like little books and tidbits that I recommend. Again, if you're not Wiccan and you're offended by this, please leave. And I will do a video on that topic next because it's something that's bothering the shit out of me. But anyway, it's hotter than Hades and this lighting is terrible, so I'm gonna get going. Merry meet and merry parts. I'll see you later.